Yes, the music they use on Love on the Spectrum is problematic.
The music on Love on the Spectrum is trying to make it feel cutesy, endearing. I mean, it sounds like British TV shows like The Great British Bake Off.
Cutesy I would agree with, and as an autistic person myself, I have a problem with cutesy used in this context. Shows a lack of understanding of how using said music will reinforce inherent bias and further autistic marginalization.
But on
The music in the Great British Bake Off is usually more whimsical in tone, though it does have some more awkward times where something awkward happens on screen. But it doesn't use the music to make fun of the participants.
Love on the Spectrum doesn't make fun of...
Really?
You gonna wear shoes today?
Yes, Dad. Oh, I was actually hoping the weather would be warm enough to wear sandals, but sadly it's not.
Fine, but the Great British Bake Off...
Like so?
Thank you very much. Aww.
Good look.
Thank you. Can you believe it? Made my day.
I am making chocolate orange cake in honour of my father, really. He served in the Second World War.
Do you see and hear the difference? See how the context and editing influence the vibe as well. Also hear how the music is at much lower volume on the Great British Bake Off, meaning they're not relying as much on the music to create the vibe, but rather leaning on what naturally happens in the moment to do so.
Except that Love on the Spectrum's music is consistent throughout. They're trying to create a lighthearted vibe. It's not like they only use awkward music for the autistic participants.
You think not? This is the music when featuring an autistic person.
Hi.
Hello.
I felt like because I was so living like I'm living in a world alone. I felt a lot like a mermaid back then. People who were older than me were on land and I was in the water.
But now you've made it to land?
Yep. I'm not a mermaid anymore. Now I feel like a human.
Compared to their non-autistic mum.
You'll see him telling her to be patient and calm down, and like he's helping her too, which is an amazing gift.
And an autistic person?
Tanner lives with roommates Blakely and Frankie.
Oh, done. Make it cool off for like 20 minutes.
Yes, I'll make cool for 20 minutes. Yes, guys.
And their non-autistic sister.
So I'm his younger sister. He's kind of the reason that I work here. He started and then I was like, oh, I just want to work with him. He's been working here at the hotel for the past year. Growing up, I didn't think that he would be able to hold a job like that, but he does amazing.
Do I need to go on with more examples, or can you hear the difference?
Yeah, okay.
The non-autistic folks have flowing, connected music, legato with a reliance on strings and piano that conveys sentimentality and, dare I say, pity, which is also problematic in this context. The autistic folks have staccato-style music where there is separation between notes, and it relies a lot on oboe and bassoon, instruments that are often used to create humorous, mocking tones.
I don't know. I think it's just a British thing.
First of all, Love on the Spectrum was originally Australian, so let's at least be accurate. But second, you're also comparing apples to oranges. A baking show to a dating, well, I'm loath to call it a documentary. Reality dating shows, Too Hot to Handle, Love Island, X on the Beach, The Circle, Singletown. They're all British dating shows and none of them have music like Love on the Spectrum. Our Planet is closer in vibe to Love on the Spectrum than other dating shows.
This chick, 6 weeks old, will become a supreme long-distance traveller, flying millions of kilometres in its 60-year life. Unlike the murrelet, it depends on food being brought to it by its parents.
Is this not the same vibe as...
Finding love can be hard for anyone.
It's finally my turn, my turn!
To second chances at finding love.
And for some people, it can feel like an impossible dream.
My heart still goes with him.
Now, do you hear the similar infantilization that is often used in nature shows to indicate baby animals?
Yeah, it does sound more like that than a dating show. And autistic people shouldn't be treated like a nature documentary.
You know, come to think of it, when people use the excuse that it's just because it's British or Australian style of TV music, I wonder if they're really thinking of... But really the most telling thing is that they use Mr. Bean vibe music only when featuring the autistic participants. Almost as if it is a deliberate, if potentially subconscious choice. Let's give them the benefit of the doubt. But subconscious or not, it is an ableist choice, and not just some difference in cultural music interpretation that only Americans feel uncomfortable with.